Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Has Been Hangout podcast. I'm your host, Trucker Lee. I'm sure you've noticed by now we're rolling three deep today. Vic couldn't be here. His wife is sick, so hope everybody gets better. Um, so today we're going to talk Super Bowl. We got Vic's picks coming up, even though he's not here. So be patient with us on that. And we're going to do the follower questions last. We got some good ones. I know there's the one that we're all looking forward to answering. So, with that being said, fellas, we're going to open this up with a little opening segment called Our Two Cents. So, we're going to give each of us 2 minutes to talk about whatever is going on in sports that we can't talk about on the show, that we don't get to talk about on the show. So, what y'all got? Who wants to go first?
Great, have at it, buddy.
Oh, you put me on the spot. So, obviously being a wrestling guy, an Oklahoma State guy at that, I'm just gonna go ahead and start this off as is Jax Forrest that dude? I mean, goes and wrestles high school duels at the first of the season, reclassifies, comes to Oklahoma State, and is absolutely tearing it up. Like, in my opinion, generational talent. Like we probably won't see this again. Like he's that guy. That's extremely uncommon to see these guys. Reclassifying's been a big deal here in the recent years. Like I've seen multiple athletes reclassify to start college early, but I've rarely seen one do this and come straight in as a starter, win his starting spot, and not only do that, but just to blow it up. Like, I was talking to my mom the other day, and she's a big wrestling fan as well. And she made the comment of, I see him being a four-timer. And I would love to say she's wrong, but I can't say that she is. Like the dude is a freak. I mean, to come in and reclassify for one, kudos to you, Jax. But to come in and reclassify and start, hats off, buddy. But to come in and reclassify and be ranked, man, it's so cool to see and so cool to watch just because of in the high school wrestling world, he was on Bo Bassett's team. They were teammates in high school. I would assume junior high as well. I'm gonna have to look into more of that, but the big talk was Bo Bassett, Bo Bassett, Bo Bassett. Everybody's on Bo Bassett. Like that was the big um that was the media guy. Like everybody was all over him. He's got a huge social media presence, and Jax was hardly ever talked about. Well, then Oklahoma State and David Taylor signed Jax Forrest, and now you're seeing more of Jax. He goes and wins the Worlds as a 18-year-old kid, wrestles up in the U20s and wins it. Like, this kid's a freak. And I think he's going to do very well, and he's going to have an incredible college career. Um, so outside of wrestling, my question for the followers is on the basketball side of it, is Oklahoma City are they gonna be a defender? I mean, are they gonna come back and win it? I think they will, but the thing I'm seeing right now is injuries, dude. Injuries are eating them alive. Their two best players, or two of their three big best players of the big three per se, are hurt. And they have no timeline on when they're gonna be back. They just came out and said SGA was indefinitely sidelined for oblique injury or an abdomen injury. Jalen Williams, J-Dub, is out indefinitely with a calf sprain. Like, I see why they're doing it because it's still earlier in the season, but it's like, man, we as the people, we've got to have a timeline. We need to know when these all-stars are coming back.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I mean, more to come on that. I mean, let's like basketball, lot going on, crazy trade deadline. Um, so Colton, what's your 2 cents? What do you got?
My 2 cents are just going to be I'm going to give Allen Schools a big big thumbs up. They go in there and have a really, 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 really solid football season. I mean, the deepest that we've made it in a long time. I think since like the 70s, if I remember correctly. Girls basketball, I've got it pulled up here. They're second in the district, 17-4. Boys basketball, it's right here. Boys basketball, 18-3, first in the district. We're starting to get some push, and I'm real proud of my home team, of my hometown. But yeah, I'm just gonna give a big shout out to Allen Mustang Athletics in Allen, Oklahoma. Super proud of you guys.
Right on. Nice. Um, yeah, I'd also like to give a shout out to a local team there in Oklahoma, the Van Os Wolves. My little brother goes to school there, plays baseball there. Um, hoping they make a good run towards the state tournament this year. So we'll see. We'll see how everything plays out. But shout out to the Van Os Wolves baseball team. But on that note, I mean, my quick 2 minutes, my 2 cents. On NASCAR. A lot of big things, a lot of changes. They're going back to the chase instead of the playoff format. So that'll be interesting to see all 16 drivers competing right up until the end. The Daytona 500 coming up on February 15th. There's a lot of drivers still looking for that first win. Some have been in for a while now and still haven't won. And we've seen in the past a lot of drivers, their first win comes at the Daytona 500. Well, I won't say a lot, but it can happen. It's happened before. So that'll be interesting to watch. I'm ready for Speed Week. I'm ready for the um, for the 500. I'm ready for it all. I'm glad NASCAR's back. Adds a little bit more sport to watch too. So we'll see how things go. But always got to cheer for my boy Kyle Busch, Rowdy Nation. I'm ready to see him. I hope he gets a Daytona 500 win. But on that, that's the end of my spiel. We're gonna move right in to the Super Bowl. So I know then that starts tomorrow, and this will release on Sunday. So obviously we're shooting Saturday. So let's revisit our picks that we had in a previous podcast. So I know I had Seattle coming out on top. I think Sam Darnold just goes in there, gets the job done. I really do. I think the experience is going to show. He's been in the league for a while. I think he has the ability to go out there and make the big play. I don't think the game's going to get too big for him. Um, I don't think that Drake May has it in him. I mean, a lot of people have been talking about how easy the Patriots' schedule has been. They haven't really played anybody worth really talking about. I mean, they've had a fairly easy schedule, kind of ran through it. Haven't really been tested. I mean, Bo Nix doesn't get hurt. Broncos might be in the Super Bowl. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I mean, what do y'all? I mean, what I don't remember. I think Vic or not Vic, Kate, you had the Patriots, right?
Yeah, I got the Patriots, man, and it all goes down to it's not the same Patriots team that we all grew up watching. It's not Bill Belichick. It's not Tom Brady, Julian Edelman, Gronk. I mean, it's not the same team. It's not. But the thing about it is, I feel like just as a competitor myself, they have a legacy to uphold. You know, this is the first time they've made it to the big game since Tom Brady was there. So yeah, and a lot of these guys are very young, but too, it's like, what are they playing for? They're playing for the legacy. They're playing to maintain the legacy. You know, comparing it to what I can relate to is you compare it to Roth Baseball. Roth Baseball has a legacy that's deep, so deep. Granted, Coach Simon's not there. Coach B's not there. These guys aren't still there, but when you see Roth Baseball, you see the legacy that was left to these guys and to these new coaches.
Right.
So even though it's oh, Roth made it to the finals. They're going to make a run. I mean, they could. They very well could, but they get that reputation from their legacy. So that's my pick. I can't count against the Pats. Does Sam Darnold and the Seahawks have it in them? I mean, they're there, so they've got to have some kind of fight in them.
I guess
They've
we'll
had a
find
tougher,
out.
they've had a tougher schedule. So,
Yeah.
but
Well, I'm
again,
gonna touch on that too. I've got it pulled up here. The Seahawks opponents had a 474 winning percentage. The Patriots opponents had a 429 winning percentage. So we're talking about 500, less than 500s of a difference as far as schedule goes. So was it tougher by the numbers? Yes, but by the overall numbers, no. Patriots ranked 30th, so they only had there was only two teams that had quote unquote an easier schedule. The Seahawks 21st, so still on the easier side of things. So I will say that. Two, guys, this is professional. This is professional base. This is professional football. These are the premier players at each of their positions. You got to think there is 22 guys on the field at any given time. That is the best person you're going to get in the world to play that position. So, I mean, you got to think you got 704 guys on offense and defense at any given time. 704 out of the 7 billion people in the world. So yeah, you want to talk about easy schedules. Yeah, scheme fits. I think a lot of it comes down to how, positions and, mental mistakes and stuff like that. But being in a professional, I mean, you guys could probably attest to it too, but being a professional football player, even if you have the quote unquote easiest schedule, you're still having to fight for some of these games. You know what I mean?
oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's
And
where the term strength of schedule to me gets a little irritating because yeah, you got people like the Cleveland Browns. They're a disaster of an organization, but they're a disaster all the way through. People want to put Miami. Oh, well, Miami wasn't anything. Miami scored 70, I think, against Denver, like not too long ago. Like 70 points. So was it
Yeah.
really a difference? I mean, people have bad days, people have this, people have that, schemes, coaching differences, everything like that. I mean, it's going to come down to who wants it more. I think defense is going to win this, just like it did in the college national championship. Defense came to play. And I feel like defense is making a comeback. Now everyone's kind of getting used to these rules. The offense is getting away with less and less. The defense getting away with a little bit more. The mutual combat rules for defensive backs and wide receivers. Man, I think the Seahawks are going to take it, not because of their quarterback, but because of their cornerbacks. I think the Seahawks are going to take it because of their defensive backfield. I think them having probably the best defense. I mean, I know they're a top 5 defense. I don't know what they are ranked exactly, but they're a top 5 defense versus the Patriots, who again have a better. They got a good defense, but they're not top 5. So that's just me, man. I think the defense is going to make a difference. I think Drake May is going to play very well, and I'm pretty sure he came second in MVP voting. Is that accurate? I think he got 23. He got 23
really
votes. But that's just my.
No, I agree with you. I think yes, defense is what wins championships. But I mean, I feel like with the Seahawks, they kind of proved it to me a little bit more. You know what I mean? Especially with that game against the Rams. I
Yeah,
mean, Sam Darnold just went off against the Rams. He went.
yeah, he did.
And
Drake May finished 23 first place votes, one behind Matt Stafford. So yes,
the Patriots played in it was a snow game, right, against the Broncos. Wasn't it like wet and snowy
I didn't watch
and
that
all
game. I didn't watch that game. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
I feel
pretty
like
sure it
that
was.
sounds right, but
I'm pretty sure it was something like that. And facing backup QB, and you barely walk away with a win. Now, win's a win. You get to the Super Bowl. But I don't know. I feel like the Seahawks have just proved it to me more that they
Yeah,
are the better team. That
I
they're the
agree
better
with you.
team.
I agree with you.
So one thing, since we're on defense, kind of bringing that up. A lot of people have also been talking a lot about Sam Darnold seeing ghosts against the Patriots. Um, so um,
Well,
what do y'all think about that? I mean, it's not the same Sam Darnold we're seeing when he was with the Jets. Obviously not the same Patriots team we're seeing now. Mike Vrabel's defense is freaking good. Um, but what do y'all think? Y'all think he sees ghosts against the Patriots?
well,
I mean,
again,
if he's already seeing ghosts, then I mean, what is he gonna see a ghost running a streak down the sideline and throw it to the wrong team? I mean, it's possible. I feel like there's a lot of context that isn't being told about that, you know.
Mhm.
Um, my big deal is neither of these quarterbacks has been in the Super Bowl. So, like you said just a second ago, defense is going to win it. You and Colton both said it.
Right.
And in sports in general, your offense puts up points, but defense wins championships because you're down to that one stop. Um, Colton, you had said Miami had scored 70. I don't know the stats to that game, but it just comes to mind like if your offense can score 70, but your defense can't stop a team from scoring 70, you're in a 77 ball game. It's coming, or 70 to 70 ball game. It's coming down to the last stop.
mhm.
And I'm in agreement with both of you. I think it's going to come down to defensive. It's going to be a defensive game. It's not going to be a last year's Super Bowl blowout. Um, I think I think ultimately it's going to come down to who gets the last stop or who makes the big play on defense.
So I've got it picked up here. I've got it picked up here. The Seahawks were the third ranked defense. Patriots were 10th. Um, the difference in pass yards allowed per game is 0.4 yards difference. So one's letting up 193.5, one's letting up 193.9. Um,
Wow.
Rushing yardage, one's letting up 91.3, one's letting up 101.7. Total yardage, you're talking a 10-yard difference on
Mhm.
average. 10 yards is all it's going to take. And again, this is where I was going back. Yeah, the Patriots aren't a top 5 defense, they're a top 10 defense. But the difference was between 3 and 10 is 10 yards a game. That's how
Yep.
competitive these top defenses are. That's how competitive the National Football League is compared to, college, where OU's offense ranked 100th and they still made it to the playoffs because their defense was so good. You're not going to
Mhm.
have that. You're not going to have a 32nd ranked offense and a first ranked defense. And, you know what I mean? You got to have both. It
Yeah.
ain't going to happen like that.
Right.
So, again, to go to your seeing ghost thing, it's a little different. That's a young Sam Darnold playing in probably the second worst team to play in. Behind the Browns is probably the Jets. Um, I mean they had what, Aaron Rodgers for a total of one snap. Um, I think it's different. It's going to be different for three reasons. One, longevity in his career. Two, he's already seen success, and three, um, he's a little bit more mature.
Mhm.
On the flip side, Drake May, I think both of them are going to be game managers. I think both of them are going to make sure that they don't turn over the ball. Um, but Drake May has that chip on his shoulder, in my opinion. I still think Seattle wins it. I think I want deeply for Seattle to win it. I think I picked the Patriots the first time around. Um, but I believe I said also that I really, really want the Seahawks to win. I'm gonna go ahead and say Seattle wins it. I'm gonna flip away from that. I do think though Drake May is gonna put his body on the line. I feel like we're gonna see a Fernando Mendoza type play at least once or twice from him, putting his body out there to try to put those team in position. So yeah, I'm really, really, really looking forward to this game. I'm really, really looking forward to see the quarterback play. Mr. Stevenson, OU running back. Excited to see it. Stats came out the other day. 78% of all his yards in the last 2 years came after first contact. So
Oh wow.
that is a huge difference maker. But also Walker, Seattle.
Yep.
He was a beast. And we all know what happened the last time there was a beast running back in Seattle and they played against the Patriots. What happened at that 2 yard line?
Yeah, we
So
decided to throw the ball.
hopefully we don't. I say we as a collective. Hopefully we don't see that. Hopefully we see the best running back come out on top. And Travion Henderson, the lightning bolt. If Stevenson's the thunder, Henderson is the lightning. That dude is blazing fast. I had him on my fantasy team up until I think week 8 or something like that. And then after week 8, he just took off. So of course, I got busted out of my fantasy. Whatever.
Right.
But yeah, dude, I'm telling you, they got a true, I think, thunder and lightning um with that other, I don't know, I'm not gonna say his last name wrong. It's like Shambo or something like that. Um the Seattle's bigger back. There's their thunder and lightning. I know he's hurt. Is he going to be back? I don't know. I didn't really look into it all that deep. I just know he's hurt. But I think that the running difference, especially with that shock and all that the Patriots has got, is going to be a good aspect for them. But they're also going to the best part of Seattle's defense is their running defense. So it's gonna be strength versus strength. It's gonna be raw versus raw. It's gonna be power versus power. It's gonna be speed versus speed. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. I hope it's a good game. I hope it's not 28-3 at halftime. Wink, wink.
And
I mean, not the same Patriots. I don't think Drake May's got that Tom Brady magic in him.
I'm just saying. But no,
I don't think so.
I really hope it's a good game. I want it to be a close game. I don't see any team scoring more than 4 times. I don't see the scoreboard getting over the 2s as far as I don't see it getting over that. I'm saying 28-21, 28-24, maybe 28-27. They go for it on a last minute 2-point conversion. Somebody misses it. That's just me. I think it's going to be a 20s v 20s, and whoever's got the higher second digit's going to win.
Right on. Obviously. Thanks, John Madden. Just kidding. I think it's funny that we've talked about that 2013 2014 Super Bowl whenever
it's 2015, I think.
no, it wasn't 2015. That was the Broncos and
Oh, that's right. It was 2014
Carolina,
then.
something like that. They had it playing on the NFL Network, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna turn it on and kind of see, like, revisit that and kind of see. And I was watching it toward the end of the game, and I'm watching that drive, and they get right up there, and I'm like, he ran the ball the play before to get you there. Give him the ball again. And they just threw it, and I knew what was happening too, and it just made me sick for him. But I think the big thing for Seattle is run the ball, especially whenever you have it on the 2 yard line.
2 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Run the ball. Don't throw it.
It was February 1, 2015 truck. Super Bowl 49. Super Bowl.
So it's the 14-15, not the
14-15. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I think, yes, I agree, Colton. I think it's going to be a close game. I want it to be a close game. I don't like when championship games are an absolute blowout. I think that sucks. Especially
I enjoyed that blowout last year, though. The Eagles and the Chiefs blowout. That was a great one.
No, I don't like blowout games in the championship, man. I want to see a fight. I want to see an absolute dogfight for the freaking championship, man. I want it to be earned. You know what I'm saying? Not just a freaking steamroll. Like, I feel like that sucks the fun out of it. But it's not up to me. I mean, it's up to the players. They have to show up. So I think it is going to be a close game. I think this game gets decided by 3 points. I think it's going to be that close. But I think 27-24 Seahawks. So I think it's going to come down to a field goal. And kind of like what Colton was saying, last second, try to kick it, tie it up, send it to overtime, and they miss. So, um, but we'll see. We'll see how that all plays out. Um, so it's a battle of first time Super Bowl quarterbacks, obviously. Do you think this game gets too big in the moment for either guy?
Man, I don't think it does. I
No?
think, I think, honestly, because Sam Darnold has the league experience, whereas Drake May doesn't. I think it's gonna see who come down to who wants it the most. Who's got that dog in them? I think that's what it comes down to
Yeah.
on the
I mean,
offensive side, anyway.
I to be honest, I haven't watched Drake May play a whole lot this year. I've seen a couple games. Um, and I mean, I was somewhat impressed, but I wasn't like for him to finish second in MVP. I that kind of surprised me a little bit. Um, and maybe I was just watching where it was just kind of an off game for him. Um, but I think maybe it does get a little too big for Drake May in the moment. Like whenever he has to go and make that big play, can he make it? Um, like I said, I think this is where it's going to come down to experience with Sam Darnold, what he's going to be able to bring to the table, keep it calm, cool, and collective. I think he's going to be able to work through adversity and be able to set up his team better than Drake May. Just because, like Colton said, the Seahawks defense is so tough. Um, I think they're really going to hammer down on the pass game. And I mean, but you can't give up the run game because the Patriots they have a really good run game too. So, but I think in the moment, um, I think Drake May, I think it gets a little too big for him. I think
Well, I
he's
want
going
to
to
say
throw
this.
a
Yeah,
couple interceptions.
I believe I agree with you there. I want to say this though: the Seahawks. I don't know if you guys have ever looked into their um, depth chart or anything like that. You know how many other players have Super Bowl experience right now, like on the roster for this for the
No, one.
Cade?
I have no clue. Zero.
They got Cooper Cup, who won it with the Rams. They got Ernest Johnson. I'm sorry, Ernest Jones, not Johnson. Ernest Jones, who won it with the Rams. Cam Akers, also when the Rams won it. Oh, and Tyler Hall, their cornerback, also part of the Rams Super Bowl. So,
So it's part of the Rams team.
Yeah.
They
so
just that they
four key
just beat.
components from the Rams team go on to the Super Bowl. Same deal. Patriots. How many other starters have Super Bowl experience?
I have no idea.
Give me a guess.
Clueless.
Give me a
4,
guess.
3.
5.
4. That's right. Mac
Oh,
Hollis. Yep. Mac
I win.
Hollis. Philadelphia Eagles. Carlton Davis. Um, Carlton Davis lost in
Oh wow.
their Super Bowl, so he has yet to win one. Did oh my good lord, Deneric Prince, their running back, he's got one, and Milton Williams also has one. So it's 4v4, and I think that's
Mhm.
funny. I'm kind of a numbers guy. How many 4 and 5 star players did Indiana have on their squad? 8.
Like 8.
Yeah,
Yeah.
8. And how many players in this Super Bowl have Super Bowl experience? 8.
8.
Dude,
Yeah.
the scriptwriters are getting wild. I'm just saying, this is getting ridiculous. So,
I like
so
the humbleness in which you said I'm kind of a numbers guy. You are definitely the numbers guy.
oh yeah, well yeah, you should. If this wasn't going to be pushed out to everybody, I'll tell y'all after the fact. But yeah, it's funny because my wife and my anniversary we picked it because of the numbers, and all of my kids' birthdays line up. The last number of my youngest flows into the middle. The last number of my middle flows into the oldest, and the date at which I was born and my wife was born, if you add that together, is the birth date for my kid. So it's like, okay, hold on a minute.
That's
Everything
crazy.
revolves around. Yeah, it's wild, dude. It's wild. So
That's crazy.
again, I'm gonna flip my pick from the Patriots to the Seahawks to win it. I think the Seahawks take it again, 28-21, 28-24, 28-27, something
Yeah.
like that.
So um Here's a question that I'm going to ask, and I liked it. It was one of our follower questions that I'm not putting at the end. I'm actually adding it into this segment.
Who asked it?
Ryan.
Okay.
Just because it fits in so well.
Mhm.
So what are 3 key factors for each team to win on Sunday?
Cade, go ahead, buddy.
Defense. Like I
Yep.
said, it's gonna be who gets that last stop. You know, we keep referring back to the 14-15 2-yard line, silly coach mistake. Gosh darn it, Pete Carroll, what are you thinking? Like, it doesn't make sense in that situation. I hate to even go back to that because we're past that, but it didn't make sense. It didn't make
Yeah.
sense then, and it doesn't make sense now. So honestly, I think defense, it's going to come down to last stop. Also, does the game get too big? Does it get too
Mhm.
big for Drake May? I mean, he's what, a second year, third year quarterback? I mean, he's fairly new to the league.
Yeah, he's young. He's a young guy.
I think I'd seen he was only like the third youngest quarterback in the league, period, right now. So does the game get too big? That's another factor. Third factor for me, I think, does Sam Darnold see ghosts? Like, that's what we don't know. There's a lot of unknowns, but in all reality, I think it comes down to defense. And if the game gets too big, and then ultimately, do the right plays get called at the right time? So, I mean, there's your 3 different factors from 3 different sides. It comes from your quarterback side, your defensive side, and your coaching side.
Yeah.
Where are they
Would-
playing? Where are they playing the? Is it Levi Stadium?
I do believe so, yes. What's your
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, depending on, was it Levi? Did you look it up?
I haven't looked it up, but I do believe yes it is.
Yeah, let's see
Levi.
here. Where is Super Bowl being played? Yeah, Levi Stadium. Levi Stadium holds about 70,000. UNC holds, just north of 50,000. So I don't know if it's gonna be. Here's my 3 things for each team. I think the Seahawks, they need to control the run game. If the Patriots start getting a roll, it's going to get away from them. The Seahawks also need to focus on defensive pressure. Seahawks have 47 sacks this season to New England's 35. If they get to Drake May, if they rattle Drake May, that's the game. And I also think that the revitalization of the Legion of Boom, that's going to be a big factor. How do the defensive backs play? It's all going to come down to defense for me as far as the Seahawks are concerned, and it's the flip side for the offense, or for the Patriots, the offensive side of the ball. Your defense is good. They're not great. They're good. You have to fill that gap. I think Drake May is going to have to play his best ball game. It's not going to be if he's throwing for 180 yards, it better be because they're running for 200. It's gonna all come down to how efficient is their offense, how many first downs, how many conversions. When it comes down to it, are you getting your guys across that fake yellow line in the middle of the field? Are you
Right.
getting those first downs? Receiving core, they've got a good group of receivers. I've already touched on the running backs. I think it's going to be 2 sides of the ball. It's going to be 2 sides of the same coin. Seattle, defense, defense, defense. Your offense is going to play. You got 2 of the best receivers in the game right now, in my opinion, Cooper Kupp and JSN.
Yeah.
Their offense is going to play. I mean, Sam Darnold has now, what is he over his last 2 seasons? 27, 28, and whatever.
He's
He
lost
hasn't.
maybe a handful of games.
Yeah,
lost.
I mean, he's lost less than 7 games combined in the last 2 years. We know he's a player. We know he's good.
Yeah.
His offense is good. They're good offensively. The defense is going to have to hold their own, and vice versa. It's just, so that's what I think. I think 3v3. It's going to be boom defense on the Seahawks, boom offense on the Patriots. I think that's what it's going to come down to.
I like how Sam Darnold quickly kind of became less of a gamble and more of a like a prize pick. You know what I mean? Like he's going to go out there and win. He's going to be the guy that can go out there and get it done. A little bit of a late bloomer. I think everyone kind of expected this Sam Darnold right off the bat. Um,
Well,
but
again,
hey,
that goes back to,
better late than never, though.
yeah,
So
that goes back to where he played.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
No, I'm
look at the
I'm just saying.
Jets.
I think
I know.
they bring in Aaron Rodgers, and it's like, oh, they keep trying to bring in these guys that are going to revive the franchise, the organization. Okay, well, that doesn't come on the field a lot of the time. That comes in the front office. So, um, you have to win on the field and in the boardroom. That's just how it goes. Um, my three key factors. I think I agree with Colton for Seattle. It's going to come down to defense. Um, don't give up on the run game. Um, but y'all are so close in passing yards allowed per game. So um, get after Drake May, make him uncomfortable. Uh, for the Patriots, you have to keep Drake May comfortable. You're gonna have to
Yeah.
block. Your run game's gonna have to be there. It's gonna have to be good. It's gonna have to be solid. You're gonna have to power run up the middle. Um, stay consistent. Don't become a one-dimensional team if you're the Patriots, because then Seattle's just going to start picking you off. So, and one by one, they will crumble the Patriots' dreams. But I still think, um, Seahawks are just too overpowered. So, consistency is what this is going to come down to. Which team can stay the most consistent on both sides of the ball? So, um, and I don't know, man. Like I said, I think the Seahawks just proved it to me against the Rams. The Rams, great team. Congratulations to Matthew Stafford, by the way, for winning MVP. I think that's great. I think him getting out of Detroit was the best thing that ever happened to him. But I just something about this Seahawks team just feels really special to me. I think they're not looking at the last Super Bowl they were in. I think they're, um, moving forward. They're moving past that. Obviously, Pete Carroll's not there anymore, and so we don't have a coach that's going to make some stupid mistake like that. Um, but overall, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm ready to get this thing going, man. Last big spectacle for football this year. Um, before we start moving more into like baseball and NASCAR and good Lord, everything else. So summer sports are coming. Um, anything else on this Super Bowl y'all want to touch on?
I don't
No?
think so. I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. So
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, Vic isn't here, but we still have Vic's picks. So with that, let's roll right in to Vic's picks. Hey y'all, I'm not Vic, but I've got his picks. So he's got New England on the spread. They will not lose by more than 4.5 points, or they will win, and the odds on that are -105. He's taking the over on Sam Darnold throwing more than half an interception. I don't know how you throw half an interception, but anyways, that's what he's got. He's taking Hunter Henry to score at any time during this game. I feel like that's a given. He's taking the over on 45.5 total points scored. And all that in a parlay, the odds are plus 1,200. If you place $10, you could win $130. We are not gambling professionals, me especially. So what you do is on your own. But if you have a problem, please call 1-800-MY-RESET. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us for Vic's Picks. All right, so now that we're done with Vic's Picks, we have follower questions. Yay! This is gonna get fun.
Yay.
So follower questions. The first one from my lovely mother, Charlotte. Um, so what's y'all's thoughts on Oklahoma getting rid of the OSSAA? And for those who are not from Oklahoma, it's the Oklahoma Secondary Schools Activities Association. What are y'all's thoughts on getting rid of the OSSAA and allowing open transfer?
Mm. I mean, OSSAA, in my opinion, is a
Trash.
joke. Absolutely. 100%.
Trash.
It does need to be dissolved, in my opinion. Also, in my opinion, there has to be regulation. Like,
Hmm.
we have to have somebody regulating this stuff, or we're going to end up having
The college football problem.
exactly. Oh, well, I don't like this coach. I'm transferring. Oh, well, I'm better than I think I am. I'm transferring. I'm transferring. I'm transferring. You know, it's going to get out of hand. Um, you know, I was punished by the OSSAA for a transfer for
Mhm.
something that I had zero control over.
Mhm.
Essentially, I mean, there's a lot to that story, but everything that happened, I had no control over.
Give,
Right.
give us the
It
give us the
was
quick of the quick there, Cade. Just so people
the
get
quick
some
of the
sort of
quick was I moved to a school. I transferred to a school. I'd gotten held back, and we did no OSSAA paperwork. I was 14 years old. How am I supposed to know I'm supposed to do OSSAA paperwork? You know, we were told by the superintendent it was okay. So we did. Fast forward a year and a half later, the situation wasn't good for me. I was on a mission to go play college baseball or basketball, just go play at the next level. So I put myself in a better situation and didn't transfer. I moved to Roth.
Mhm.
I get punished because I got held back. Even though I didn't play any high school sports, but because I suited up, I got punished. So in turn, I literally played half of my freshman year, second half of my freshman year, had to sit my sophomore year, which was the year that I moved. Moved, not transferred, moved, lived a block from the school.
Yeah.
Um, got to play my full junior year and was originally not allowed my senior year. Granted, we appealed it, hired a lawyer, took it to court. I was awarded the second half of my senior year. So when you put math or pen to paper, I played a full year and a half. Um, that was my punishment. Going back, I would have done things differently as far as not going back halfway through a year, but I didn't know, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but in turn, they failed me on that because a year and a half out of the 4 years I was allowed, you know.
Yeah. It's just a joke. It's a joke.
I think I think that the way they have it set up is kind of screwed up. I mean, if a kid moves, if a person moves to a school district, you shouldn't have to have all the paperwork follow them. It's like just have it run off their address. Oh, well, someone's gonna just how okay, who cares? If they want to go to that school bad enough that they're gonna hold a permanent address there, who cares? Oh, it's gonna cause this and it's gonna cause that. Okay. So then your best tier teams are gonna be better than your worst tier teams. And then
Mhm.
guess what? Just do what Oklahoma's already done and split a category. They already
Right.
split 11-man football into two categories on the lower end. You know, there's two different I think it's I can't remember if it's 1A or
It's
2A
A1.
football.
Yeah, it's
A1A and
one and
A1
two.
yeah,
Yeah.
A1A1 and A1A2 or something like that. But it's split already. So let's do this. And this is just the one, separate private schools from public schools. That needs to happen.
Yes,
Separate
absolutely.
that.
Yep.
Have a separate championship for private schools, then a separate championship for public schools. Two, let the kids play. You got 4 years of high school. You got 4 years of being king of your own world before reality sets in. You go to college, you start having responsibilities, and some people don't go to college. I mean, that's some kids' last opportunity to play sports. It is. Number
Mhm.
three, recognize all sports.
Yep.
Just because you don't call it a sport doesn't mean you don't get to say, well, that's not really a state championship because it doesn't go through the OSSAA. Well, it did, and it is. I've got 7 or 8 state titles. I counted them up the other day in powerlifting. But if you go to OSSAA, there's no powerlifting. So
Right.
you got to go through a secondary website. And it's like, well, then you didn't really. Well, we competed against every school.
Yeah.
Okima. I mean, we competed against all the schools. Any school that had powerlifting, we competed against them, from 8-man schools to 11-man, 8-man, 6-man schools, 11-man schools, whatever it was. We were lifting against them, and we had some strong individuals. So the OSSAA has backed themselves into a corner. They've been too stingy. They've ruined kids' playing opportunities. They've ruined kids' opportunities, all because, yeah, and it's just like Cade said, if you didn't have money to go get a lawyer, you're just out. How many
Yeah.
of these kids could have gone on and played Division 2, Division 3, Division 1 sports? How many of these
Even
kids missed the
NAIA.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, yeah, NAIA, JUCO, whatever. How many of these kids got overlooked or missed because they didn't have a complete season? How many of these
Mhm.
kids got missed because of bad coaching aspects, and they just said, no, you're not going to play? So your parents are like, well, I have a job opportunity. We can move for the betterment of our kid. And then the OSS steps in and says, actually, we know better than you do. And just because you uprooted just because you move across, let's just say you went from Roth, you came from Roth. I don't know where you came from, but I'm going to say Allen. Let's say you just could not get a play and spot at Allen, right? So you're like, okay, well, Roth's got an open spot. They're looking for somebody to play first baseman. They're got a graduating senior this year. They don't have a freshman, sophomore, or junior who really plays it that much. I play first base. Let's move to Roth. So your parents they uproot you. They move all their stuff over there, buy a house, rent a house, whatever it is. It's a massive financial commitment from whoever it is. And let's be honest, majority of the people who are doing at these small schools, now if you get into like Mustang, Yukon, Jinx, Tulsa Union, yeah, okay, there's probably some more money. But if you're talking about schools like Alec, Macomb,
Yeah.
Maysville,
Asher, Roth.
Asher, Roth, Allen, even Atoka, Holdenville, McLeod, Little Axe, schools like that, they're not going to just have people. They're not going to sit there and just pay people to come in. Hey, we need you really bad for this one sport. Can you just move here for? And even if they are, who cares?
Right.
It's gonna be happening anyways, and it just depends whose palm is getting greased. So
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
are you?
I'm not saying that the OSSAA is dirty by any means. I'm not saying that, so don't hear me wrong. I'm just saying that a group of unelected officials should not have say over the public schools forum. If it's public schools, it should be public. It should be voted on who's in, not private individuals, not one-off people. It needs to be a vote, and each ruling that they have needs to be put to a popular vote. Every school in Oklahoma gets a say. Jinx gets one say. Oh, Allen gets one say. Macomb gets one say. Everybody gets one vote. That's it.
I think it's like a collective board from each school, a representative from each school at each level. So 6A down to B gets a representative from each school, and they get to vote on what goes on. Now, so are you okay with the open transfer thing?
I don't mind the open transfer thing. I really don't. I mean, let's just say
'Cause
you're playing a Booker T, right? And
yeah,
so you get some freak from California who moves in who's 6'4", 240, running a 4.2, and he takes your spot. Why should you have to sit at Booker T when you can go play at, I'm just gonna say,
Putnam City or something.
yeah, Putnam City,
Yeah.
or Yukon. If you could go play at Yukon, why are you having to sit because some freak of nature moved in?
Right.
So
No,
So in that
I'm okay with
hang
the
on.
that.
thing about that is though, like the OSSAA already allows for one transfer. So like in that situation, Colton, yeah, like transfer. You get one. So like I was saying, that's my big deal is with your there's got to be some regulation on
Well,
it.
they allow one, but God forbid if somebody loses a job and it's like,
Well,
oh, I was working, let's just say they moved from McAllister. They're working over there at the manufacturing facility for Duraline, right? They're over there in McAllister. They're playing for the Buffaloes. Hey, my dad got a phenomenal job in Midwest City. Okay, well, we're moving to Midwest City. So now he's going up, I'm going to say Choctaw. Let's say he goes out there to Choctaw. Now he's playing for Choctaw. There's your one transfer. Hey,
Well, that's a
my dad,
move in though. That's a different.
well,
Like it's you can move 4 years if you want to, as long as you live in the district.
what
But
happened to
the
you then?
transfer, huh?
What happened to you then?
Well, I told you I transferred, got punished for the transfer because I got held back.
Didn't you move like
There's
a
no
block away from the school though?
so when I moved, I was punished for the previous transfer.
Okay, so let me rephrase that. If you're living in McAllister and you're going to Calvin, and then you know what I mean, that's what I'm saying. But even then, I don't
Yes.
think the OSSAA should have a ruling in that. If a kid
No.
wants to move school 4 times, let him move schools 4 times.
And
Well,
you
and-
can as long as you move in the district.
well, but realistically though, who's going to move their kid 4 times for 4 different high
Ex-
schools?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Could
now
though.
no, they could, but I'm saying who realistically is going to do that?
Right.
Those
I
parents who play that have travel ball, boys who think they are the greatest things since sliced bread, and
and that
they
could be a
can't get on.
possibility.
They can't get on at Mustang, so they go to Yukon, and they can't get on at Yukon, so they go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, all those schools are relatively close. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're relatively close, but I don't see like someone like going to Allen and then Midwest City and then the Tulsa and then to you know what I'm saying? I mean, that seems a little ridiculous. It could happen. I'm not saying it won't happen. It could happen. I mean, with the OSSAA, you get the one transfer, but you still get punished. You still have to sit. So if you move, you still have to sit. You can't practice or whatever, right? Um, I think it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I was under the
Um,
impression as if he moved, it didn't matter. You had to sit 15 days if you moved into the
if
district,
you
but if
move,
you
but that's
transferred,
what I'm saying though. You still get a penalty. Like you
oh
still
yeah.
like why can't I moved here? Why can't I go into the facilities? Why can't I go play? Why can't I go practice? What's it matter? I'm already moved here. I'm committed to play here. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
see,
saying?
no, I was under the impression of if you moved, you had to sit 15 days, but you could still practice. You just couldn't play in a game for 15 days.
I
So
don't
here
think
this is in 2023, the OSSA adopted a new transfer policy that lets student athletes transfer once and be immediately eligible. So once, but only if they declare within a limited window between July 1st and July 15th and meet specific conditions. If they miss that window, they must sit out a year.
okay. Well, I don't know. But anyways, I think ultimately yes, I think the OSSAA get rid of it. Um you can form another association of some kind with elected officials who will run it and maybe they have a board of some kind like I said with a representative from each school or something. um you got to do something. You got to do
Yeah.
something, have some type of commission, especially I know we didn't want to talk about this, but the Oklahoma high school NIL is a thing now, and there's a lot of opinion on that. Personally, I don't agree with it. I think if you're in high school, you're in high school. I don't think you should be getting paid to play. Which is not really pay to play, but I mean, what school is really making money off of your name, image, and likeness? I don't really think any of them, unless you're maybe a bigger school, maybe. Um,
Unless your
I,
dad is just this some phenomenal athlete that has a decorated, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like for instance, LeBron James. Like that would make sense if we had a LeBron James in Oklahoma and they were recruiting, quote unquote, and
yeah,
paying, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that would make sense. But right now, I'm with you, Trucker. Like you're a high school student. You don't need to be making money to play ball.
right. I think that's just absolutely ridiculous. Um,
I'm gonna say I don't mind it just for the sure fact if you got some freak phenom, and I'm gonna use Boba Fett. I'm Bo Bassett, not Boba Fett.
I
Bo
was like,
Bassett for this, the wrestler out of Pennsylvania. I mean, he's got a social media following. He's and I'm just going to use just a generic number. 10 million people follow him,
Mhm.
right? He's already getting paid for anything that he puts out by social media. And if those brands want to brand him, even though he's still in high school, you should be able to. I mean, if you've got that big of a following, if you got some phenom coming out of, central Oklahoma, and he's 14 and they're saying he's going to be the next Barry Sanders, and he's already got offers to, if he's already got offers from college schools that are now offering NIL, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well, I
again,
see I see what you're saying there. And
because even the
and that
college NIL stuff, I mean, it's classified. You're not paying them to play. You're just paying them off the brand. So
right.
Yeah.
as
They
long as
can't
it's
readjust what you're getting based on your stats.
right. So I think screw it. I think open it up. If there's some 12-year-old kid out there and they think he's going to be the next Michael Vick and he's just out there just just throwing the ball all over the place, outrunning everybody, and just a 5-star athlete through and through, and he goes out there and makes a social media page, and he's already getting paid by Facebook and YouTube, and just like all these YouTubers are. I mean, some of these YouTubers are in high school and they're making millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Mhm.
Okay, well, if a YouTuber can do it with a computer and a little bit of free time, and they're making millions and millions and millions of dollars, why can't an athlete who's the same age take advantage of his specific skill set? So
I mean, it's a good
See,
that's a great question. I mean,
that
yes, my thing with that is I feel like it's different when you're getting paid from social media versus
yes.
the school trying to bank off of what you're doing when you're in high school. You should be focusing on getting out of high school. That's my
And
only
so,
thing about that.
so,
But
and
now, hang on. I'll come to you right after this. Um, I just feel like if you're in high school, you should be focused on getting out of high school. What you do extracurricularly, that's on you. If you're getting paid from social media, that's no one can control that. Your NIL is already out there. You already accepted that. I just don't think there needs to be anything more distracting for the players, for the students, than getting out of high school. But if they're gonna do it, if because it's already out there, if they're gonna do it. Let them have it. Let them have whatever they want. So, Cade, what do you got?
so I was going to touch on, the Bo Bassett situation that Colton was mentioning. So, like, I do see both sides. Like, my point that I made earlier to me makes sense. Like, you don't need to be playing or getting paid to play as a high schooler. Like, but from what Colton was saying, by social media and what we had just talked about with social media. So the thing about what the Bo Bassett situation is I'm not 100% sure it's him that runs his social media account because it's not Bo Bassett Facebook, right? It's labeled as the Bassett brothers, so it covers him and his little brother Keegan. And so I think it's getting both of them views. It's getting both of them that social media popularity. Um, and I think it's his dad or his mom that's doing it, which hats off to them. With that being said, now Bo has a sponsorship, and I'm not sure about Keegan, but Bo for sure has a sponsorship through Rudy's,
Mhm.
which is a wrestling brand. I don't know the details to it, but I do know that he's always in Rudy's gear. All of his singlets are sponsored by Rudy's. He wears Rudy's shoes. So I don't know if he actually gets paid per se from them, but he's
Yeah.
getting paid by getting free gear.
Right.
Um, so, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, God forbid if a baseball company had reached out to me or you in high school and say, "Hey, if you'll represent our brand, we will give you as many pairs of cleats that you need, or we'll give you a brand new glove every season,
Oh
or we'll
yeah.
give you 35 pairs of batting gloves to go through this season." Like, yeah, give it here,
Yeah.
like I'll
No,
take
don't get
it.
me
So,
wrong. Now that they have it, do it. Do it.
yeah, yeah. So,
Take
I mean,
advantage of it. But I just think it's going to cause a little bit of a distraction.
oh, it
But
well,
will.
we also didn't have all this when we were in high school. You know what I mean?
No,
We didn't
no, we
have all
didn't.
this social media like it is now. Nothing. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe they can manage it a little bit better. Um, but real
It's
quick, last takes on this topic. We gotta move on. Um, last takes on this topic. Colton, go.
I'm just gonna say, I mean, overall, I'm gonna. We all seen the movie Friday Night Lights, right? We've all
Hmm.
seen it.
oh yeah,
Baby Miles being the phenom he was supposed to carry him. Blah 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 blah. I mean, I think that if someone comes along like that and you have an opportunity to cash in, we are a capitalist country. Let them cash in. Oh, they're not over 18, so then run proxy through their parents. Man,
Hmm.
I don't know, man. I think it just needs to be out there. Two, the Oklahoma, I mean, SB 490. I was doing a little bit of reading on this. I think I'm 90% sure that's it. SB 490 stipulates that no public funds can go to NIL payments. So it's not the schools paying them, it's the brands paying the athletes. Now, if the school gets a cut, if the school gets whatever, whatever. But
Open it up
again,
and
it's not the school that's paying the kids. Now, in college, it's a little different. It kind of is the school paying the kids because everything runs through the school's NIL contract. But
mhm.
if I'm just gonna say Brahms ice cream, Brahms dairy, if they walked up to a kid and they're like, "Hey, we like the way you play. We're gonna give you this, and this, and we're gonna give you Brahms merch to wear off the field, right? Because I don't know if you can wear certain merch on the field. Again,
Right.
there's a lot of but it's like, hey, we're going to give you Brahms this, Brahms that. You get free ice cream, da 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 da, and we're going to pay you X amount of dollars. We're going to pay your parents X amount of dollars, whatever it is, your agency, X amount of dollars a year, so you represent us for the future. It's like, okay, I have no problem with that. If there's a 14-year-old kid that's getting looked at for college scholarships. I mean, if you could offer a kid a $90,000 scholarship, but you can't offer him a $9,000 transaction, what? That
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me. Well, one's for his future. They're both for his future. Just
Right.
one is liquid right now. You can't sell a scholarship. Like, God forbid if their parents got sick. You know what I mean? Let's just say someone's mom got cancer. Well, dad can't afford it, but
Hmm.
their son or their daughter just hit, you know, 10
Just
million followers on social media.
or
And
sign a
now they
new
want to,
NIL deal with whoever.
yeah, or Oklahoma State came in and said, hey, you're the next, uh, give me a wrestler, Cade. I'm not the best wrestler. What's his name?
Hendrickson.
What, the Cormier guy or whatever his name.
He wouldn't say he's the best, but Wyatt Henderson would be a good one to use.
Okay, well, but you're the next Wyatt Henderson, whatever his name is. We're gonna pay you X amount of dollars a year to come to school for us, and we're gonna give you an upfront guarantee. Since we know your mom's sick, here's this to take care of that. It's like I think that's an opportunity.
Yeah.
I think all of that together is an opportunity for these student athletes to bridge that gap between, because if they're already doing it in high school, if they're already getting paid it, and people are reclassifying at 16 to go into college, what's the difference?
Right. All right, Cade. Quick last take on this topic.
So yeah, my last take would be just kind of like what I was talking about. Um, with the sponsorships.
Yep.
I see nothing wrong with that. It's like, hey, you're the next baseball stand. From the baseball side, you're the next Barry Bonds. Like, hey, we
Mhm.
want to sponsor you. Like, here's X, Y, and Z. You can use it, or you can give it to your teammates, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see
Yeah.
anything wrong with that. You want to support me and give me free gear? Okay, cool. But I
Yeah.
think where it becomes a problem is where it becomes a monetary issue, where they start, hey, we want you to come play, or we want to sponsor you. Here's $20,000. Go buy your gear for the team. That's an
Right on.
issue.
Yeah. Um. So real quick, let's move right into the next question. This one's from Matt. Um. Who in college football is QBU, RBU, and wide receiver U? So who do y'all think is quarterback university, running back university, wide receiver university?
Hmm, that's a good question. But that's not a question for me because I'm not a college football guru.
That's a tough one, honestly. Because I feel like it's shifted a lot over the years.
Man, I'm gonna say LSU. LSU's definitely wide receiver U, especially lately. I mean, look,
Okay.
just two names that come off the rip. You got Jamar Chase, you got Justin Jefferson.
Mhm.
You got, I mean, I guess it kind of depends, but then you've got Ohio State with Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson and
Yeah.
Johnny Dixon. I don't think really panned out, but you've
You-
got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you can also make a play for Oklahoma. CeeDee Lamb, Hollywood Brown. You got Rondell Moore. You got,
Yeah.
I mean, you got D.D. Westbrook. I mean, it just kind of depends on where you're looking at. I say it's not a wide receiver U or a quarter. It's got to be like two or three.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks. OU has put out. I mean, Caleb Williams. You got Spencer Rattler. You got
Baker
Baker
Mayfield.
Mayfield. You had Sam Bradford. You got Jalen Hurts. You got five guys there who played really well. Bradford got hurt a lot, but I mean, you got a lot of good players, but also you got Oregon, Justin Herbert. So I guess it kind of depends on what you consider to be a product of quote unquote QBU and wide receiver U and running back U. It just kind of depends on what you consider a product.
Yeah.
For example, I'm going to use the Patriots right now. They got an Ohio State running back and an Oklahoma running back. So I don't know. I'm going to say in my opinion, wide receiver U, probably LSU. Running backs, it's got to be Alabama. It's got to be. I mean, it's got to be. There's
I
just
would
no
agree. I would
other.
agree with that.
I mean, you got running backs. I mean, Alabama, Georgia. Um,
Yeah.
Those two. And quarterbacks. Oklahoma. Oklahoma's put out some solid guys, but I mean, Wyoming has put out arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. Wyoming. So it just kind of depends. I say OU for quarterbacks, probably Georgia for running backs, Alabama for running backs, and Clemson, Ohio State. I'm gonna say Ohio State and LSU for wide receivers.
Yeah. I I I think I agree with that. I think it's very up in the air. I think it kind of also depends on who at that time is really putting out more of a product. You know what I mean? So it's kind of up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do you even want to attempt this one? What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Colton. And two, I agree with Trucker. Like it's up in the air. The thing about it is too, all of these schools that we mentioned, Clemson, Ohio State, OU, Bama, LSU, all of these schools that we're classifying as RBU or, you know, wide receiver U, they also all put out really dadgum good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So it's hard to I'm in complete agreement with you guys. It's hard to nail down one school for each category on which one is more of a quarterback university, wide receiver university, or running back university because they all put out great product. All those
Mm-hmm.
schools put out great product.
Yeah. So all right, let's move into this one. Um but this is the one we all wanted the answer. What makes someone elite? Um so real quick. All right. Um when we're looking at this, we have to be able to really decide. I mean, it's going to be opinionated obviously. But when we're looking at it statistically, what do you think makes someone elite in any sport? In any sport, I will say that. What is y'all's thing? What makes them elite?
So like for me, and we talked about this yesterday on the phone, Trucker, and I'd mentioned this, so I'm gonna bring it to the table just like I had mentioned it. For me, an elite player is that dude that shows up day in and day out. One, he's a leader. He's got to lead the team. You can't be elite and not lead your team. And two, I'm gonna put this in a basketball standpoint and this is a completely different argument and topic, but I'm gonna throw it out there. You could do a whole podcast on this, but like when it comes to GOAT status, for me, an elite player is very similar to this in a way. So don't take this out of context, but when I look at who's in talks for the GOAT in basketball, you have LeBron, Kobe, Jordan. Those are your two big three, right? So when it comes down to it, there's 2 seconds on the clock. We've got one shot to take to win the game. I'm taking Jordan on that. I'm taking Jordan on that. So in baseball, elite wise, who is that guy that's going to show up in the clutch moments? You take everything else out of it. Who's the leader and who shows up in clutch moments? As a Phillies guy, and this is going to razz Colton up a little bit because I'm a Bryce Harper guy too, and I still think he's elite. We're just going to get that out there. But if I'm watching a Phillies game and we're down one and we have 1 and 2 on base, you've got Schwarber and Turner at second and third. Bryce Harper's up to bat with 2 outs. That's my dude. Same situation. You've got 7 and 8 up to bat, and last year's Nick Castellanos up to bat. I'm turning the game off. Like, was Nick Castellanos elite early? Yes. He'd come up clutch, but he was never that leader. He was never that big name. So as far as eliteness goes, I think you have to be a leader. I think you have to be consistent. I think you have to come up clutch in big situations.
Okay, Colton, what do you think?
I think to be elite, you have to not only lead your team, but you have to lead your team in the big games when it matters. So for me, I'm going to say there's a very fine line between really good and elite. I think as far as stats go, you can look at stats, say you're elite, or you can look at the eye test to say you're elite. Tom Brady, elite. If you want to look at stats and you want to just look at like the eye test, Tom Brady was ranked dead last as far as just pure athleticism goes. He wasn't the fastest guy. He's lanky. He wasn't really built, but he was a competitor. Now look at Andrew Luck. That guy had what it took to be elite. He had the arm. He had the cannon of an arm. I mean, he had the cannon of an arm. He was insanely intelligent, but he's just really good. He's never going to be elite. He'll only ever be at the best of his ability, really good. And that's where I think my standard is. If you can't get your team, if they bring you in to complete that puzzle and you don't fit, no matter where you go and you can't win that big game, whether your name is Bryce Harper or not, he's just not elite. He's really good. And just out of pure curiosity, I looked this up. Nolan Arenado versus Bryce Harper. Nolan has a better batting average than Bryce Harper, but Bryce Harper is a hitter. Right, we were talking about the other day how great of a fielder Nolan is versus, the field, and he's got 10 Golden Gloves. He also has one more Silver Slugger than Bryce Harper has. So we talked about him being really good, but not elite. He's an elite fielder, but by the numbers, he's got more RBIs than Bryce Harper. He's got less plate appearances than Bryce Harper. He's got more games, but it's 2 more games. He's got more hits by 120. So it's like, now are we throwing around the word elite too much to where it waters it down? And that's where my argument is, and people can say what they want to, Shohei Ohtani, blah, 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 blah. dude, that guy is, I mean, a stud. He
Yep.
is a stud. I mean, he's got 1,018 games with 280 home runs. Meanwhile, Bryce has 1,700 with 363. Overall batting average, Shohei's a better batter. Oh, hey, and then that's not even talking about their years in versus championships. And that for me is the big deal. Yeah, they've got their all-stars. Yeah, they've got their MVPs. Shohei's won 2 more MVPs than Bryce. Aaron Judge has got 3. Silver Sluggers, they've each got 4. But then you go ahead and look at the pitching side. I mean, Shohei's the best player in baseball right now, in my opinion. And that's not because of just one thing. It's because he does everything well. And I went ahead and looked up his stats in the World Series. I mean, he batted 333, which is phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Even when he played against whoever it was, we were talking about it the other day in the qualifying game, he was third on his team in batting average for that series.
Mhm.
So he was the third best hitter, and he was the best pitcher by stats.
Right.
So again, Bryce Harper, very good player, very good.
Yep.
In my opinion, though, he didn't win it with the Nationals. He leaves and the Nationals win. They bring in all this money to the Phillies. They bring in all this hype to the Phillies, and they've yet to win it all. And that's my deal. And again, I'm not a baseball guy. I'm sure there's nuances to it. I'm sure there's stuff that it's like, oh well, and it is a team sport. You do have the 9 players around you that make the team. But he's just for me not elite. He's really good.
Yep.
He's
So
just
for
really
me,
good.
I mean, what makes someone elite? I do kind of agree with Colton there. Where are we making that word a word instead of a word that has meaning? That's the same way. Like when I think of the Hall of Fame, those are the elite guys. Those are the guys that were so good. We have to have this whole thing to honor these guys, right? But now I feel like it's getting to the point to where we're letting every Tom, Dick, and Harry into the Hall of Fame just because, okay, well, they were on a team that won a World Series, so they automatically get a bid to be in the Hall of Fame. Don't agree with that. Hunter Pence being on the ballot, I think that's an absolute joke. He's not a Hall of Fame type player. When I think of Hall of Fame type players, I think of Barry Bonds. I think of Roger Clemens. I think of
Pete Rose.
Greg Maddux, Chipper Jones, all those guys, right? Alex Rodriguez, Hall of Fame player. Those guys are the epitome of what an elite player is, right? Statistically, it shows. You can't argue with their stats. They're good enough to be in that category. Same with Aaron Judge. Now, I know right now he's Mr. Regular Season. And they couldn't get it done against the Dodgers in the World Series. They played that was just a bad series for the Yankees. But and you look at Shohei. Shohei, I feel like, is in a category of his own because he's doing something that baseball hasn't seen since Babe Ruth. He's a two-way guy, right? And Babe Ruth didn't even pitch that long, right? He didn't pitch that long before he switched to the outfield. So really, what Shohei's doing is something baseball hasn't really seen, where a guy can stay consistent being a two-way guy, playing both sides of the ball, and like doing it at a level that is just absolutely insane. Like I don't think he has he won a Cy Young? I don't think he's won a Cy Young yet, but
No.
I think if you give him a good 30 starts on the mound, 32 starts on the mound, he could win a Cy Young. Now I know he's removed from like Tommy John and stuff like that, so you kind of have him on a pitch count. But I think he could win a Cy Young. And if he does win a Cy Young, then I feel like you have to build him a statue outside of the Hall of Fame. Like
Oh
this
yeah.
guy is
Yeah.
doing crazy things. So when I think of what makes someone elite, um, it's the ability to stay consistently great at what you're doing for a long period of time. There's obviously the off years, the down years, and all that stuff. But whenever you're looking at these players, especially like, okay, you go into football and you're like looking at the elite players in football, you think of Tom Brady, right? You think of Tom
Brett
Brady and
Favre.
Brett Favre. You're even starting to think about Patrick Mahomes in that category, you know? I mean, he's getting to that point now. Can he stay healthy enough to play out and see, you know, can he compete? You also think of Drew Brees, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
see, I don't think of Drew Brees because yeah,
Peyton
he
Manning,
was he was really good, but he could
but
never get over that hurdle. He won
yeah,
one Super Bowl, so yeah, props to him for doing that. But it's like, in my opinion, Breeze is really, really good, but he's not elite.
right.
Same thing with Favre. Favre's really good, but he also played a different era of football.
Yeah.
Um, he's
Well,
really
hang on.
good.
Let me
Go ahead,
finish my
go ahead.
spiel.
Yeah, go ahead.
But that's just what makes an elite player to me is how long you can stay consistently good, um, and continue to compete at a high level up until you retire. Now, obviously, you can kind of tell when a guy's getting ready to retire. You know, the last few years of his career probably aren't that great, but you still see flashes of who they used to be, right? So I think it just comes down to, um, you know, how long you can stay consistent. Um, are we all kind of in agreement that it's just um,
Yeah.
it's not really open to interpretation, but it is, um, you know, I think the word is just being thrown around and getting a little watered down. I do
The
think that
100%, legendary, elite, Hall of Famer. It's like everyone's so afraid to hurt somebody's feelings now that we're just letting everything slide.
yeah,
And like I said, props to Bryce Harper coming out of high school to basically play college level ball at the same time that everybody else is going into high school. Props to him. Really good player. Is he elite? Is he among the best ever? If you had to build a team, if you had to build an all-time team, is he on that team? I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't. I mean, I've got their stats pulled up here. He's against Arnaldo, Judge, Castellanos, Harper, and Otani. The only thing that Bryce Harper has more of is plate appearances. That's it. I mean, he's beat in and he has the most plate appearance. I'm sorry, second most to Arnaldo, but he's got the as far as games go, he's second to Arenado, but
yeah,
he's number one in plate appearances. He's not number one in hits. He's not number one in home runs. He's not number one in RBIs. He's not number one in stolen bases. Not number one in batting average. His
right,
on base percentage, let's see, is third. His slugging percentage is one, two, third. As his OPS, whatever that means, an OPS plus, whatever that means. Again, he's leading. He has the most games. Well, 2 games away from the most games, but he has the most plate appearances. And at those appearances, he's not number one in hits. He's not number one in home runs. He's not number one in RBIs. I mean, and I get it. He's really good.
yeah. But
But
let's not just make this all about
yeah,
Bryce Harper and whether he is
yeah,
or
hundred
he
percent,
is
hundred
not. I
percent.
mean, so yeah, he's good. But
So
we need to wrap this up here. So
100%.
um, we any y'all got anything real quick? Last shout outs, anything like that y'all want to give?
No, man, I
Anything?
think it's. I think it was good. I think it's good. I think we're good,
Yep.
man. I'm good.
I had fun. I had fun with y'all.
I did.
Hey, let's do this again sometime, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so thank you guys for joining me. Vic, we hope your wife gets better. We love you, man. I hope I did justice to Vic's picks. If I didn't, let me know in the comments.
The Vic's picks might hit this week.
They might hit. We'll see. If not, we're gonna make fun of them.
100%.
So, anyways, thank you guys. Thanks everybody for listening. And
Hold up, Truck.
we'll,
Hold up. We forgot
What?
one important keynote.
What's that?
Mikey Anderson, does he win tonight?
Oh man. Okay, real quick. Shout out Mikey Anderson, a fellow that I grew up playing ball with, played in high school with and against. Still forgive you for drilling me in the neck. But hey man, we love you. We hope you win tonight. Go out there and show them what's up, dude. Kay, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, Mike. Like I told you last night, you see the chin, light that boy up, son. Don't be going for subs when he giving you that chin.
Is it River City Fighting?
Yeah.
River City Fighting tonight in McAllister. So if y'all can check it out, well, I guess go rewatch it. But yeah. Anyways, hey, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody listening and tuning in, and we'll see y'all at the next video. Bye, guys.
See you, buddy.
Later.